No matter which coin you may be invested into, Bitcoin, Ethereum, any other coins, guys, it doesn't matter, because it seems like no one is safe, right? None of these coins are safe, but only one. XRP may provide refuge, guys, to all those who are seeking, right? Why? Because XRP has already been through the storm, right? It's already been attacked by the SEC. Now, what happens after the storm? Sunshine and rainbows, right? From Mr. Intuitive. In my opinion, the Ripple case is not going to the Supreme Court. That takes years if they accept it. The world cannot wait. Interesting thinking, guys. Now, today we're going to be talking about the SEC because they are literally going after everyone, guys. Pay attention very carefully. The cryptosphere is built on a house of cards, okay? But there are a few gems out there, like what? Ripple, XRP. So pay attention, guys. So, my opinion, like I said before, guys, is Ripple, like many other people, believe that Ripple versus SEC case concludes this March. But I'll add on to that, guys, right? I'll give a bonus. In my opinion, if it doesn't finish by March, it'll end by right before the collapse or during it. It has to be one of the two, guys, right? So either in March or during the collapse. So let's hope and pray it finishes soon. Now, it's interesting. Why? Because why is March significant, guys, right? Why? Because winter just passed. March is what? Where things start to blossom, right? Where things start to become reborn once again. Fascinating, right? Interesting symbolism. If we could connect the two. From Wheel Chart, all of crypto will see a bloodbath if Ripple XRP loses to the SEC. How about instead of spreading FUD, you say something like, if Ripple wins, it will start a bull run. Because Ripple winning won't create a bull run? What if it does, guys, right? March. You know why March is a fascinating month? Is because what would happen if we create a bottom near February or March, guys, right? And then we start to go up. Why? Because the spring pivot is always a good time for cryptocurrencies and the stock market in general, guys, which is fascinating, right? So, nope, in case SEC wins, only XRP will continue to descend to zero. It would probably help you understand to read some of the documents about the case. The SEC are trying to stretch Howey in such a way that it would affect other cryptocurrencies like Ethereum or Bitcoin, right? Exactly, guys. No, your coin is not safe, right? You may be invested into Ethereum, these other types of coins, but it is not safe. The only one that I could see that will provide refuge, that will provide protection, is XRP, guys, right? So I'll be careful investing into any other thing at this point in time, right? Yes, no matter what token your maxi brain is attached to, you better hope Ripple can pull off this case in their favor, because the S will hit the fan otherwise, right? Defund the SEC. Exactly, guys, right? Check this out. SEC Chair Gary Gensler says crypto is the Wild West and most tokens will fail. Again, Brad Garlinghouse warned you in 2019, guys, many years ago. He warned you that 99.9% of these cryptocurrencies will fail because they don't provide real solutions, right? To the real problems, to the real world problems we see today. So basically, Gary Gensler has never been a fan of cryptocurrencies. Why? Because he's just merely a puppet. He is, guys, right? Behind the scenes, he truly is. Time and again, he has been vocal about the same, speaking in a Twitter Space session hosted by the U.S. Army late Wednesday. He basically stated that the industry is the Wild West, right? But Brad Garlinghouse said it's not. That the SEC chair asked traders and companies to exercise caution because most cryptos are currently non-compliant and aren't adhering to the law, he said. Most of these, again, are not complying to the securities laws, but they should be. Right? How does it make sense when this Howey test was created decades and decades and decades ago, right? If not longer. And now we see new technologies being created. You guys see how it doesn't make sense, right? To put this test into something new. So there needs to be a new test. What will that be? The Ripple test? So we got to pay attention, folks. Now, Further elaborating on why most tokens will fill, Gensler stated, most of these 10 or 15,000 tokens will fill. Interesting, he stated most. Not all, but most. Same thing as Brad Garlinghouse stated. 99% will fill. Now it's 99.9%, folks. Be careful, careful. That's because venture capital fills, new startup fill, but also because history tells us that there's not much room for microcurrencies, meaning we have the US dollar and Europe has a euro and like. Gensler warns against FOMO. So I believe there's going to be one final leg up, guys, before everything does truly collapse on itself, right? This house of cards, not only with the crypto industry, but the stock market and the entire financial industry will just collapse. The entire system will collapse. Please don't get caught up in that FOMO. This is highly speculative, right? Exactly. So when these cryptos are up, pumped very high up again, guys, next year, next year, be careful, right? Just truly be careful, guys, because the rug will be pulled underneath when you're sleeping, guys. From Eleanor Tourette. Breaking: Genesis Trading and Gemini have been charged by have been charged by the SEC with selling unregistered securities. Story developing. Whoa, Gemini, guys, and Genesis, the two G's, same thing that's stated with Gary Gensler, the 2G. G as in 2023, the number 7. And they're going after. I can't believe it. Stop it. What? I'm going to be talking about that more in tomorrow's video, guys. But the SEC alleges Gemini and Genesis violated securities laws through the unregistered offering of Gemini Earn lending program. Sounds familiar? Listen to this.
To say, I believe Gary Gensler is going to sue an exchange, whether it's Coinbase or Binance or another exchange in the United States by the end of the year.
There we go. How could he have predicted, guys? Because it's quite simple, right? It's quite clear what Gary Gensler role is, what he is playing, right? 2 years ago, the Winklevoss twins applauded the SEC coming after Ripple and the XRP community. How you like them apples now? Exactly, right? Now the tables have turned, folks. No one is safe. I'm so glad XRP was first indicate, and now it's going to be first out of, right? Wow, I can't believe it, guys. We're going to get the last laugh. We're truly going to get the last laugh, right? Now, DGC is who? Digital Currency Group, right? Why? Because today we charged Genesis Global Capital, LLC, and Gemini Trust Capital, right? LLC for the unregistered offer and sales of securities to retail investors through the Gemini Earn crypto asset lending program. So there's probably going to be immense contagion issues. Why? Because our subsidiaries are Genesis, right? As you guys can see, which they just got getting charged for, and then another one is Grayskill, right? So there's Genesis and Grayskill under GCG. Now, you know what's even crazier? Grayskill, right? I was going to talk about this a long time ago, but since we're on this topic, let's talk about it. Basically, for its part, Grayskill, which is the largest legal holder of Bitcoin with around 633,000 Bitcoins, refused to provide a proof of reserve in recent days. This was back in November of 2022, so I'm not sure if they have, but careful, guys. Grayskill said in a statement via Twitter that it cannot make a cryptographic proof of reserves from Coinbase custody publicly available due to security concerns, quote unquote, due to security concerns, right? That many Bitcoins are around billions and billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars, guys. I'll be careful here. And if I'm not mistaken, David Schwartz posted something similar to the Grayskill logo that one time as well, right? So you guys have to remember. OTX research therefore concludes that one of the only real reasons Grayskill might not want to disclose their addresses is that they want to avoid providing information about who their most used counterparties are, right? So they want to stay private, guys, right? They want to stay hidden. The future will be decentralized and centralized at the same time, right? From Andrew, update: DCG/Genesis liabilities balloon to beyond $3.1 billion, facing decisions to liquidate portfolio assets which won't cover even 10% of the above sinkhole. Reminder, said 2 months ago there was zero interest in their capital raise, right? then they should try that. They have already got over 3 billion of that, guys, right? It's game over. Guys, if they don't collapse now, do you know when they'll collapse? During the collapse, right? It's super simple. Why? Because if everything falls then immensely, there's going to be contagion issues. Same thing that took place with FTX, right? Contagion issues, and that was nothing. Now imagine if everything fell, stocks, cryptos, right? It's game over. Justin, FTX has recovered over $5 billion in cash and cryptocurrencies, attorney says. Right? So people were talking about how, what's the sources, whose money, tax money. 5 billion is not a small amount at all, right? Interesting. 5 million is not a small amount of money at all. So how did they even recover that much, guys, right? Nothing makes sense. The US military had a budget of $1.7 trillion in 2022. Sam Bankman-Fried was the second largest donor to the Democrat Party and shadow donated to the Republicans. 5 billion is a lot to us, but not a lot to them. Why? Because they literally print money, right? It doesn't even matter. But they stated it just does not ascribe any value to holdings of dozens of illiquid cryptocurrency tokens, where our holdings are so large relative to this total supply that our positions cannot be sold without substantially affecting the market for the token. Exactly, right? So if they were to sell these tokens, guys, it would dump the market. What does that tell us? What I believe is the market's cryptocurrency should pump here, but they're going to dump. Why? Because the Dixie should go up. Now, if we do see selling from them, which will just put more fuel to the fire, right? So simple. DGC collapse. We will have much capitulation, and things will not be the same when big investors lose money. Industry will take time to recover. Many will lose interest and diversify to other assets, making long consolidation. So will these people collapse at the end of the day, right? Will they? From the Winklevoss, earn update and open letter to Barry Silbert. So this is what started it off, guys, right? So Barry, today marks 47 days since Genesis halted withdrawals. I'm writing on the behalf of more than 340,000 earned users who are looking for answers, right? So if we go down here, you guys can pause and read all of this, right? There's too much to talk about. We are asking you to publicly commit to working together to solve this problem by January 8th of 2023, right? It doesn't seem like they did, guys. DGC did not borrow $1.6 billion from Genesis. So now they're coming back, right? Everything is okay. Sure seems like it's not, guys, right? But look at this. Earn update, an open letter to the board of DGC, right? So it's getting even worse, guys, right? Contagion issues through the roof. Here's what happened. We are learning more by the day, but at present, the basic events as we understand them are as follows. Genesis lent $2.36 billion of assets to 3AC, a Singapore-based hedge fund that went belly up in June 2022. After collateral was liquidated, Genesis indicated that it was left with a loss of at least $1.2 billion, right? At this point, Barry Silbert had two legitimate options: restructure the Genesis loan book, or fill the $1.2 billion hole. He did neither, right? Because they don't have the funds, guys, or do they? But we all know that this whole crypto industry is built on what? A house of cards, right? But don't forget about their exchange, right? Which is Gemini, guys. They're not safe at all, right? As well. Are you looking at all the people who lost their money in Celsius, Voyager, BlockFi, and other Ponzi scams? This was posted back in 2022, July 19th, and thinking, gee whiz, I would love to be in their shoes. Not to worry, Gemini and Genesis have just the programs for you. Join today, don't delay. Guys, the new interest rates for Gemini earn assets lent to Genesis are, look at that, right? All those percentages, APY. The previous were that they bumped it up, guys, right? Because they need people to be putting their money into the earn, guys, right? Their exchange. So it's people aren't worried about any of this, but why? From Tyler Winklevoss, It's disappointing that the SEC chose to file an action today, as Gemini and other creditors are working hard together to recover funds. This action does nothing to further our efforts and help users get their assets back. This behavior is totally counterproductive. But wait a moment. Everyone with a brain would have known that Genesis was a scam. You fell for a scam and invited your customers to lose billions of dollars. Good job. But don't worry, Gemini is another ticking time bomb, right? Here's the future of BlockFi and every crypto, quote-unquote, crypto interest scam. 1. Offer artificially high rates. 2. Highly speculative, likely to fail investments. 3. Everyone loses their money. Who am I kidding? The Bitcoin community trusted a guy named Pirate, right? Careful, guys. Careful, careful, careful. We, the SEC, charged Genesis and Gemini for the unregistered offer and sale of crypto asset securities through Gemini Earn, right? So listen to this. I can't believe it, guys.
What do seatbelts have to do with crypto lending?
They really are going after everyone, right?
Seatbelts come standard in every car. That's true despite many innovations in automotive technology. Whether a car is four-wheel drive, two-wheel drive, whether it runs on gasoline or electricity, drivers and passengers deserve to be protected. Similarly, our federal securities laws protect investors. There's no reason to treat crypto markets differently from the rest of the capital markets just because it uses a different technology. Compliance with our laws protect the investing public. Unfortunately, some platforms that offer crypto lending aren't complying with the requirements. Consider this hypothetical. Bob runs an app that promotes 7% returns, and Alice and millions of other everyday investors put their asset in Bob's app. Disclosures help Alice understand what Bob is doing with her assets. How is he funding the promised return? Is he running a hedge fund, for instance? In essence, what risk is he taking? Notably, it doesn't matter what kinds of asset Alice put into Bob's app. Cash, gold, Bitcoin, chinchillas, or anything else. It's what Bob does that determines the protections provided by our laws. That's what the Securities and Exchange Commission found in a recent settlement with the crypto lending platform BlockFi. There are costs of complying with securities laws, just as there are costs to the car makers of adding those seatbelts. Platforms that offer crypto lending need to comply nonetheless. This helps protect investors. It increases trust in our markets. Getting these platforms to comply with the securities laws will benefit investors and the crypto market. As with seatbelts in cars, we need to ensure that investor protection comes standard in the crypto market.
Regulations are inbound, folks. You guys ready? Regulations are incoming. Why didn't the SEC go after them instead of Ripple over XRP? Exactly, right? Can't believe it, folks. While everything else, right? While everyone else, there's so much corruption and everything taking place, but they first went after Ripple, guys, over XRP. Nothing makes sense, right? Because this is all a show. But remember, now there's two sides to the story, positive and negative. The positive side is we have been through the storm, right? The negative side of all this is the other cryptos haven't, but we are good to go, folks, right? The negative side to the Ripple case is we have waited so long, though, right? It didn't reach XRP didn't reach a new all-time high, so there's multiple different advantage points we could look from, guys. Gary Gensler is once again late to the game, protecting no one. Quite clear that his political regulation through enforcement strategy hurts everyday Americans, right? Doesn't seem like Gary cares at all. So look at that. More attacks on Gary Gensler, the number 7, right? Interesting. Basically, in conclusion, DCG's crypto broker Genesis owns creditors more than $3 billion, right? So can they recoup the capital? Can they raise the money? Probably not, guys, right? So I'll just be careful here. Very much. Several crypto companies have lately been under pressure as they try to navigate unprecedented industry-wide turmoil amid warning investors' appetite for digital assets after major exchange FTX blew up last year, right? So a domino effect, a waterfall effect, guys, to everything else. So be careful, be careful, be careful. Let's see what happens at the end of the day, guys. Not financial advice. But anyways, that's all for you guys. Amazing day, guys. See ya.